think I'm off screen slightly. Well, how have I managed that? Whoop. There we go. Now when I do that, it's probably going to be slightly off again. Anyway. So, we've got 3 new Necron things. Binding Logic, how's it going? Alright. 3 Necron things. Detachments, that's what they're called. We'll have a look at them. We'll chat about them. You can yell at me. I'm reading what's on the screen, so I might not see it right. This is the Cryptek conclave. So, ranged weapons equipped by Cryptek models have assault. This is where Paul will open up another website of to find out what counts as Cryptek. Cryptek. They are your characters. Chronomancer, Geomancer, Seraz, Oracan, Plasmancer, Psychomancer, Technomancer. So they all have assault weapons. Your shooting phase each time a Cryptek unit from your army. So if you attach one of those to a unit, that becomes the whole unit becomes Cryptek. You can select one of the following: anti-infantry 3+, anti-mounted 4+. That's an interesting one because very little stuff. I found very little stuff is anti-mounted. Assault, heavy, ignores cover. At the end of the phase, ranged weapons equipped by that model have that ability. That's cool. That sounds cool. Because I think with some of these, I know you can attach to... Yeah, so Wraiths, Immortals, Necron Warriors. Like, Wraiths with that would be good, right? Like, those Particle Caster... with one of the following. I guess you'd want the... You could have Particle Casters with anti... Oh no, you'd probably want the Trans-Dimensional Beamer. With... Oh, no, hang on. No, you want the Particle Casters with anti-infantry 3+, because they're devastating wounds. That's, pretty good. Pretty good to me. That seems pretty good to me. Music heavy isn't so niche, but it could also be useful. Yeah, that's, I mean, yeah, that heavy is one of those ones where it's basically just, do you want, are you moving? No, get +1. And because you do it in your shooting phase, you can decide after or before you. Particle Casters are also a pistol, yeah. So I feel like that is good. Ivy, how's it going? Right. Enhancements. Time, you select bearer unit stack stratagem, roll d6. So DP regen, always nice to have. Pretty cool. It's one of those things that are just cool to have around. In your shooting phase, each time its bearer's unit is selected to shoot, and selecting the ability for the Techno Sorceress Augmentations, one name. You can also select from the following abilities: anti-monster or anti-vehicle 5+. That's interesting. Yeah, a little bit of anti-vehicle, anti-monster. It is weird. Yeah, anti-mounted is a weird one. Career plan list for the Orbital Detachment. Yeah, we'll get to that one because that's I think the one we're going to talk about a lot. 6 inches to the range characteristic of ranged weapons equipped by the models of the various units. So you could give those particle casters 18-inch range, or I guess something else. In shooting phase after the bearer shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more attacks that aren't Titanic. Till the start, the unit is pinned. I hate this. I like the name Gravitic Bowlers. It's great. Horrible against Centurions. See what we got here. So ignore all modifiers. For a CP, you got Cryptek infantry unit. So this can't be done on Scarabs because they are, or Wraiths because they are beasts. If your unit has the Necron Warrior keyword, you have a 5 pin button. If it's Immortals, you have a 4 pin button. Okay, so that's just buffing up your Necron Warriors or Immortals. A lot of good units for some armies mounted. Of course. But it's not so much it's weird that it's not... Obviously, there's a lot of mounted units in the game, right? It's weird, just it's a very rare one to have, is what I'm thinking. It's just rare. Animus Curse. Cryptek model that was destroyed. Makes attack that targets the attacking unit. Alright, so... Basically, you get Reroll to hit against something that destroys a Cryptek. That's pretty good. Ooh. At one friendly Necron model, including monsters or vehicles, then 12 inches of Cryptek model. Until the end of the phase, that model has the Cryptek keyword, which means you can do this stuff. To start your shooting phase. And yeah, because this is in your shooting phase when you select it to be shot. So at the start, you go, this thing here is going to now be a Cryptek, and it can use that ability. Pretty cool. I just really don't like White Scar time. I feel like the thing is, out of all of these, you'd probably go with Assault one mostly. And then the anti if you got Dev Wounds. Untap power. When selecting ability, you can select one additional. Okay, so that's just choose 2. And your reanimation protocols, if scripted unit reanimates with additional wound. Okay, so that's just in your opponent's command phase, you get an extra reanimation. Cool. I like that. That's fun. Cursed Legion. This is the one I want to talk about because I love destroyers. I'm probably going to try and get a bunch of the destroyer boxes this weekend because God, I love destroyers. Old Fervor. 2 strength, the characteristics of weapons equipped by destroyer cult models in your army. Just all weapons. Let me have a look at this. Oh, that includes Rooty Tooty Point and Shooty as well, doesn't it? Yes. So 2 strength means that you have strength 8 or strength 16 on your heavy intercessors. 16? Strength 7 on your Gauze cannons. Also, your close combat weapons go up a bit as well. Strength 6. That's actually not too bad. Scorpek destroyers go to strength 9. Ophidians go to strength 6. Hexmark pistol goes to strength 8. That's good. And each time a destroyer cult unit from your army makes an attack that destroy a unit. GW, I found a typo. That should be it. There should be an S on that. Unbelievable, unbelievable, Jeff. Or cause it to below half strength. After that unit has finished resolving its attacks, until the end of the turn, add 2 strength. Add 2 to the strength characteristics of weapons equipped by friendly Necron models, excluding Destroyer, Monster, or Titanic. So basically, this gives when you take stuff below half health or kill it. Every unit in your army, apart from your monsters of Titanic, have +2 of strength as well. So that means that's good. Catacomb Command Barge or Overlord model only. Bearer has the Destroyer Cult keyword. Add 2 inches to the move characteristic of the models in the bearer's unit, and add 2 to the attacks. So it's 2 inches to the models in the units, but 2 attacks to the bearer. Now the Catacomb Command Barge, Catacomb Command Barge doesn't lead anything, but I mean, giving that the ability to have +2 strength to everything, and I'm sure all the other stuff down here that works for destroyers seems pretty good. Because it also helps your inventory mounted within 6. And you're going to get a resurrection orb. Overlords can join Immortals, Necrons, or Lich Guard. The Tachyon Arrow is -5 AP, damn. Ooh, yeah, so you could have Strength 8 Lich Guard with 7 inches of movement. Didn't realize I wasn't subbed until I saw you live. Wow, rude, but thank you. I assume you have now subbed. I can check. I can check on this. You did indeed subscribe. Thank you. Well done. An Overlord with the Shroud. Yeah, because it's Overlord keyword, isn't it? Oh no, or Overlord model. I guess Overlord with translocation Shroud is still Overlord model, right? Yeah, making that destroyer would be good. Only for destroyer cult models, not units. That's a good point. So the unit would have the keyword, but they're still don't. But the models, no, is that how that works? It's just the model. It's just the overlord that gets +2 attacks. It says add 2 attacks to the characteristic of the melee of the bearer. The unit gets 2 inches of movement, but because you would lead a unit, the unit itself has the destroy cult keyword, but the models don't. Is that right? Models will get the extra strength, but interacts with strats. Gotcha. That makes sense. Murder Mind, Cryptek model only. Bearer has the destroyer cult keyword, and during the declare formation step, the bearer can be attached to destroyer cult units. If you do, the bearer's unit cannot contain any models without the destroyer cult keyword. So that makes more sense. And add 3 to the movement characteristics of the bearer. Right, you can do some nasty stuff with that, surely. Now I need to remember what all of the Crypteks are. Chrono, Geo, Oricon, blah, blah, blah. Oh, does that mean... Oh, you can't give it to Epic Heroes anyway. Oh, so you can't give it to Oricon, so go away. So the Chronomancer would give you -1 to hit. And in shooting, you can do a normal move. So the Chronomancer seems okay. There's probably some horrendous ones. Geomancer. That's the new one. That has like a suppression thing. Plasmancer. Ooh, yeah, Plasmancer. Isn't that what the Locust Lord does already? The Locust Lord does that already. Oh, but you could put a Plasmancer in with Gorpex. And then use the Plasma Sight to use Dev Wounds. Oh no, that's wound, not hit. Never mind. These get lethal hits anywhere? Is there any way to get lethal hits? I guess Locust Destroyers, but a Locust Lord could do that. In your shooting phase, select one enemy. And you can do more wounds. Plasmancer. Psychomancer in the battle shock step. The enemy unit is below strike strength within 6 inches. They go -1. Once per turn, you can force battle shock tech. Not that interesting. 5 feel no pain. And regaining lost wounds. I think Technomancer probably wins, right? For oh yeah, but you couldn't. Oh, hang on. You can attach this model to one or more above units if noble. Yeah, because the problem is a Scorpec Lord, the Locust Lord, Scorpec Lord. They aren't noble, so you couldn't attach both. Is that right? Yeah, because it's excluding character units, right? I don't know if that's actually that useful. Is Teleport cheaper with a Plasmancer than the Locust Lord? I guess that's the way to do it, right? It's a cheaper way of doing it. The attack check is a race to make them destroy so they benefit the strats. Yeah, yeah. We'll see what happens when we get to the strats. Destroy cult model only. Each time modeling the bearer's unit makes attack, add +1 to hit roll. So putting that on a Scorpec Lord gives you 2s to hit, re-rolling 1s. I mean, you re-roll all the hits if you charge. So re-rolling 1s, 2s to hit, re-rolling 1s. Strength 9, lethal hits. That seems good. Nothing can join Obsidian Destroyers, can they? Okay. Yeah, I'm liking Cryptek Lord. And each time an enemy unit is selected to shoot, after that unit shot, if any models from the bearer's unit were destroyed, they can make a surge move. To do so, roll 1d6. The bearer's unit can be moved a number of inches as a result. The bearer's unit must move as close as possible to the closest enemy unit. In doing so, these models can be moved within engagement range. The unit cannot make a surge move while it's battle shock. Romance with, like I said, choice to move that makes a lot. If my main crew is sent to assembly instruction, that's fair. Yeah, that seems good as well. Like being able to move, shoot, move with. Because I know the new leader has fights first, right? Let's have a look at the strats. Shooting phase or fight phase. Necron unit gets sustained 1. That seems very good. Sustained 1 on crit 5s with lethals. Jesus. Think of selecting Necrons? I think I will look into getting some. What I'll probably do is get a couple of those boxes, the new ones that are coming out, if I can. If not, I'll be like, whatever. But then I'll just like put a monolith in there. Your opponent's shooting phase or the fight phase, 1 destroy cult unit, -1 to hit. Okay, yeah, so that's just -1 to hit. That's just defensive on destroy cult. First time a destroy cult unit destroys an enemy unit, 1 friendly Necron unit within 9 inches of that Necron unit can activate reanimation protocols. That's cool. So you can kill something and then reanimate. Or else. Advanced shoot and charge. That's very useful, always. You can only use this strategy once per turn, that makes sense. Because otherwise you can do it in your shooting phase and once in your fight phase. To paint the interior, I do not paint the interior. It's just not worth it. It's no one's, especially if you glue it shut, no one's gonna see it. Your charge phase. To the end of the phase, each time your unit declares a charge, if one or more targets of that charge are within engagement range of one or more friendly units, add 2 to the charge rolls. That's insane. Because you can do that from Deep Strike. And this is essentially a different two command points for this, but it's a different way of doing heroic intervention. It's heroic intervention without having to charge a... Yeah. It's a few people have this. What's my thoughts on Conflict 47? I have no opinion at the moment. I don't really know. I'm going to look at this. Have to be disappointed that this stuff is releasing with stuff again. No, not if you don't care. I don't. Centurion's got nerfed. I don't give a shit. Happens. I just continue to play what you want. Chances are that, you know, most people aren't going to be able to make full advantage of all stuff, so you just do, you do. You can go into a unit that didn't charge. Yeah, that's the difference between that and heroic intervention, right? Right, so this is the Pantheon of Woe. This is the Catan one. So these necrodermal binding abilities you have to take. When an enemy unit is within 6 inches, it is unraveling. When an enemy unit is unraveling, you get +1 AP. Each monster can hurt itself. And its ability is increased a bit more. So mustering your army, each monster unit must increase the point cost of each. So you have to do it. There's no choice. So the Deceiver gets the Vectora, which is insane. The Nightbringer gets Advance and Charge, which is nuts. Void Dragon gets make vehicle bad. A Transcendent Catan. Each Transcendent Catan, when you set it up, be anywhere 6 inches away. set it within 9, it can't charge. So it just is just a you can drop. Well, the charge are yeah, they're like shards of god, gods or something. Disharmonization Cascade. What a name. Any phase. After it's destroyed, before making deadly demise, you can do deadly demise on a 3+ instead of a 6. Weird that that's just not auto explode, but select one unraveling thing and make a battle shock. Failed, it suffers wounds. Very well. Shooting phase or fight phase. You destroy something. One friendly unit. If that enemy unit was unraveling at the start of the phase, a friendly unit's reanimation protocol active. Okay, so you kill something that was unraveling, you get reanimation. I like it. Shooting phase or fight phase. One Necron unit. Isn't a monster. Can reroll hits of 1. If it's unraveling, reroll wounded run. Good. Roto Distortion. Fight phase. One Necron unit for army that was selected as target of one or more attacks. That is a 4-up fight on death. Yes, 4-up fight on death. And your opponent's movement phase when an unraveling enemy is let to fall back. One Necron unit from your army that is within engagement range. When the enemy unit falls back, all models in that enemy unit must make a desperate escape test. Subtract 1 from the test if they're battle shot. So that could, if they're battle shot, that is essentially on a 3. If they're battle shocked, they would have to make a desperate escape anyway. If they wanted to fall back, right? I think the destroyer one probably isn't gonna change the way Necrons play. I don't think. How the Necrons doing with the new stuff? It seems like they're doing pretty well. We want to look at the new character because I love that model. Where are you? So this is the new Katana as well. This is a great model. I know they've updated all of these now. Be slightly quicker, slightly more wound, but they haven't got half damage. Okay, let's have a look at Necrosaur. Yeah, forces desperate escape even if they aren't shocked, and basically means that yeah, if they are already shocked, they are more likely to die. So Necrosaur, he's got deep strike and fights first, which is he has enmitic disintegrators. I believe is that similar to what the Route 240 shoot has? Where is it? Enmitic disintegrator pistols. Like I said, I have enmitic exterminators, and these are enmitic disintegrators. So their sustained hits 2, which pistol in horse cover, strength. I mean, in the destroyed attachment, this would be strength 8, right? Strength 8, 4 attacks, sustained hits 2. Oh dear. Loan up when you're within 3 of a destroyer cult, so you can bring up some Ophidians to help him. While friendly Necron unit is within 6 inches of this model, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, if it's got the destroy cult keyword, or that enemy unit is the closest edible target, it has sustained hits 1. So he gives sustained hits 1 out, and then he also has a bunch of sustained attacks on his own. And he gives a 5-up feel no pain against multiple models psycho abilities. And each time this model destroys an enemy unit, select another destroyer cult unit, and they get rerolls of 1. Rerolls wound of 1. This guy is cool. Yeah, because he will get his own sustained hit 1 ability as well. Yeah, him with a Hexmark, because Hexmarks get loan up anyway. So yeah, just have loan ops jumping around helping him. Or yeah, Hexmark destroyers. Yeah, I like him. And he looks cool as well. Very, very cool. Oh, I know why you're all here. It's because you like me. So look at the Space Marine ones now. Yeah, it's a 36 Enduring guy, it is. Right. Bastion Task Force. This is the battle line one. So your battle line units are eligible to shoot and declare a charge in which they advance or fall back, and can perform an action. They advance or fall back. Each time a battle line unit is to attack, after resolving those attacks, select one enemy unit hit. Till the end of the turn, the enemy unit is scanned, and you get rerolls of 1. Yeah, heavy. Yeah, so assault intercessors, regular intercessors, heavy intercessors, tactical marines. Range weapons equipped by the bearer and battle line models in the bearer's unit have precision. Well, the bearer is leading a unit, so the bearer has the battle line keyword, which means he gives his unit the battle line keyword. So that's interesting. Running this on RTT this weekend with Black Templars, 2 times 20 Crusader bricks. That sounds like a bit fun. Improve the penetration, the arm penetration characteristic of melee weapons by the bearer and battle line units by 1, and each time you select the bearer's unit as a target stratagem, roll a d6 and add 1 if it's a battle line keyword, and you get 1 TP. Dr. Plague. I was going to call you Durple for... I see, it's Dr. Plague. Thank you for the membership. Aggressors with advanced shoot and charge, why not? Exactly, right? Bombast Omnivox. They don't have Armor of Contempt. Unless they've just renamed it. Yeah, they didn't give them Armor of Contempt. That's weird. I guess it's because it's like a different book, right? None of the 3 do? That is weird. Well, when I made the Scream Ravens detachment, I gave him Armor of Contempt. I thought it was like the necessary thing. If that target has ultimate scanning route, so yeah, that's adding reroll of wounded 1 or just having reroll hits of 1 for CP. Battle line units. Enemy units also scan as a result of those attacks. Enemy does not have the monster vehicle keyword. It's pinned, so it's a lot of reducing movement, which I don't like. Depth to start his units. Select lethal hits or sustained. Target an all-spec scan unit, or the bearer has a battle line keyword. You get that thing. Nice. Your shooting or fight phase. An enemy unit is all-spec scanned as a result of those attacks till the start of the turn, while the Preston has a -1 to hit. Your opponent's shooting phase. Each time an attack is strength, if Terminator thing, so Terminator defense thing. And to the end of the phase, your unit is eligible to shoot a charge attempt, which advance fell back. Does every target that charge and every target of those attacks must be Orc Spec scanned. You can Orc scan a lot, right? Each time an adept starts a battle line unit is to attack, after resolving the side, so 1 enemy unit. So you can Orc attack, Orc specs scan a lot. Necromunda, I've not played any. Crusaders already have sustained, and I run 17 chainsaws. Diesel sustained, crits on 5, full rerolls at extra AP. Jesus. Alright. This is what I think is the most interesting one. First of all, I'm mad. I need to be mad for a second. Because this is essentially the Screaming Ravens detachment that I made. Except it's slightly different. It doesn't have this. But my Screaming Ravens detachment is you select 2, 3, or 4 units depending on your battle size, and they get either Deep Strike, Scout, or Infiltrate randomly. So you randomly you pick units and then you randomly give them one of those 3 things. And they just took it. And then they added this reroll wound of 1 to the end of it. They disembarked from a drop pod, add reroll and hit 1 as well. Sure, why not? But yes. As long as it's not Titanic, any Adeptus Astartes unit, including vehicles. So, yes. You can reroll charge rolls with various units in a turn which set them on the battlefield. Fine. Models get out Scout 6. Very good. If both players are deployed, you can redeploy. This is... If I could afford a character, and if they hadn't got nerfed and I could afford a character with a with an enhancement, I would have considered this detachment. Because this, just having that at the start of the game to shove a bunch of Centurions in the sky, is incredible. As it is, though, I can't afford that. Fortunately, on my thing. And Terminators only. Bonus fight phase. You can go back up. Suppression and strafing. This gives something -1 to hit if they fail a battle shock. There seems to be a lot of that. Make something do a battle shock, subtract 1 to the test, and if it's failed, they can't do something. Weapons equipped by the model have precision. Each time model in your unit makes attack, the target's a character unit and have 1 to the hit roll. That's just a wait. You could drop down a drop down a Land Raider Redeemer. Is that the one with the flamers? Drop down a Land Raider Redeemer, just precision out a character. That's just Phobos Captain ability. Unfortunately, I can't afford the Phobos Captain either. You can pile in and consolidate 6 inches. Cool. Select lethal or sustained. So at the end of the phase, weapons equipped by models in your unit have this ability in a turn in which they disembark from a drop pod or while targeting an enemy within 12. That's pretty good. Blind screen. 1 Adeptus Astartes selected as target 1 or more attacking units. 1 friendly smoke vehicle. Not useful enough. Doesn't. Well, I can't use it. Basically, if you're near a vehicle, you get stealth and cover. Athenaeus, thank you for the $5.
Excited to try this with Death Watch. Blackstar can get smoke and Artemis, Indomitor and Talonstrike are really crack dropping in any ways.
Yeah. I don't know much about Death Watch, but yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, you can just pop them up and down. End of fight phase, you can get back into a transport. Probably within 6 inches of a transport. Now, I know people were saying about this one for my 36 Centurions. I just don't think it does enough. Obviously, having Deep Strike on Centurions is useful, but without the ability to use this in any way, there's not enough here that really helps. This is a cool detachment, though. You could do some very silly stuff. Centurion Deep Strike, it doesn't do, like, compared to just starting them on the board or having 1 in reserve, then just using Gladius and being able to, like, run up the board quicker. It doesn't really do anything outside of getting Deep Strike. And I need a bit more. Like, there's not enough here, I don't think. But yeah, so yeah, Deep Striking Land Raiders, you could do this with, it's just not Titanic, so you could do this on Storm Ravens. Storm Ravens would be fantastic for this. The job using such too. Yeah, so for 18 Centurions, yeah. The fact you want the 8th enchant for the uppy downy. And with 36 Centurions, you are basically relying on just your detachment rule. And Deep Strike is nice, but without any other way of getting stuff up, it doesn't give you anything. Like this, like, so basically, if I took 36 Centurions, right, and I took it in this detachment, Okay, my 3 assault centurions are all deep strike. One of them can start in reserve, and I have no other way of getting them out of here. So, unfortunately, doesn't do enough. Yeah, but you can do some. I think this will come up, and people can do some silly stuff with this, which I like. I do like that. This is the other one, which is the Ventress. Ventress? No, what's his name? Titus one. Makes a melee attack. Then range of objective marker. AP +1. If your unit is within range of objective marker that you control at the start of the phase, and it's strength, and then you get Titus gets -1 to wound for his unit, and then you get the Terminator thing if you're all within range of an objective. Models have 5 invuln. Nice. Battle shock step. You can just force a battle shock. Not that useful, I guess. When all targets were within range, you can reroll the charge. Pretty good. And make an attack. You can reroll the hit roll and the wound roll if they're on an objective marker. Good. Good, pretty good. Any deep strike land raider with stuff in it, can you get out and then do 6 charge? No, you cannot. There's a it is kind of in the rules, in the core rules. It's just weird, really like vaguely worded. It says something like anything in your reinforcement set cannot be set up within 9 inches. And because if you are deep striking something that's in your reinforcement step, nothing can get out because it would be within 9 inches. Or it can't get out within 9 inches rather. But there is a rule commentary that basically says, yeah, you can't. If you're deep striking in, you cannot reduce that 9 inches by getting out of a car. You can get out the car, you just can't get out within 9 and you can't charge. The way with Shadow Mark, for 18 Centurions, Shadow Mark is better. At least for me. And for 36 Centurions, either the Salamanders one or Gladius, I think it's. So someone put it out, I think it was one of the Black Templar one or the it was one of them, either Black Templar or one of the Deathwatch ones. You can do it like advance and action, which is interesting. Add 1 to your characteristic models in your unit. Sure. Useful. What's we got? Let's start this unit from your army that's not declared a charge or been selected charge phase. Add 2 to charge rolls. And add 1 to the attack's characteristics. Oh, excuse me. Good. Right. 1 unit from your army is selected as target. 1 or more attacks. Fight on 4+ fight on death. Shoot and charge when you fall back. Even stuff like that is always useful. Fall back and action is kind of crazy. It is, but it is battle line. For the battle line one, it's battle line only. I do feel like you could do a lot with battle line though. Yeah, movement phase sticky. That's very nice. And you make a normal move up to D6 + 1. Okay. Yeah. That one seems fine. Not like that interesting. This one will be fun. You could do a lot of stuff with this one. Like the stratagems are okay. Like they're not that interesting. It's just all the nonsense you could do by giving 3 things deep strike here would just be funny. Even if it's not good. I encourage people to go to tournaments and just try out some really silly stuff. I definitely think, you know, 3 deep striking land raiders is going to be funny. Even if it's not good. Funny. Well, I think that one will be fun. And yeah, for me, the Necron one as well. This one might be interesting as well. I think there's some interesting stuff you can do with Battle Line. Like giving something Battle Line with the hero of the chapter. There's some stuff you can do in here. But yeah, for me, this is interesting. 3-drop pods and stick them in detachment rule. You don't need to, right? Because they already have deep shot. So drop pods are kind of like extras, essentially. Not the one I picked, I think. Yeah, drop pods have deep strikes. Yeah. I mean, you could give him the detachment rule. I don't know why you would. I do think, yeah, if set up on the for this turn, reroll wounds on 1. I mean, that I think, yeah, Land Raider Redeemers is a Redeemer. Yeah, Land Raider Redeemer coming down from Deep Strike with because you get 2 Flamestorm cannons, so it's 2d6 plus 6, strength 6, -2 AP, 2 damage, reroll wounds of 1. You can put some stuff. It's tanky as well. You can carry a lot of stuff in there. So you can put 3 Centurions in there. They pop out and do some damage as well. Yeah, you can. If a unit is inside, you can still deep strike, I believe. But watch out for that 25% of army points, though. To be fair, actually, no. Deep strike, you're allowed up to 50%. Deep strikes are 50%. So that is where you have to be careful. So obviously, you could put 3 just empty Land Raider Redeemers in Deep Strike. And then use this to put even more stuff in there. Because bear in mind, this allows you to go over the points as well. So you could do that or get a Phobos Captain. Where do you want to release these for free? I mean, they've released basically every detachment outside of the books for free. Not that rare. There's happens that allows you to redeploy units, put them in reserves, so you can place 3 Land Raiders, fill this stuff on the board, then pick them up, and there's no limit. Yeah, exactly. So it's very silly. The one thing this doesn't have is an uppy downy. If this had uppy downy, that'd be. Reserves has a limit, not deep strike. So reserves does have a limit. The reserves has a limit of half your army. You have to start at least half your army on the board. But strat reserves specifically is 25%. There's uppy downy for Terminators. Yeah, with this, the only way to get it. Got this back and try and summon it. No, exactly. But you can get stuff out and shoot with it. Yeah, Terminators have uppy downy with this enhancement. And you can embark within a transport at the end of the fight phase. So you could have 3 Redeemers filled with 3 Centurions each. Have the Centurions also jump out. We have the enhancement and the Phobos Capture. Could you redeploy 6? I don't believe so. I believe if things have the same rule, you can't do both. But maybe you can. Yeah, I think the problem is Deep Strike Insurance isn't that useful if you can't get them back up. However, I do have 2 repulsors. What's a Deep Strike and Repulsor look like? Because obviously they can have 3 Centurions each as well. Not quite as tanky. But I mean, it's still drop it. Deep Strike and a Repulsor, and then having like a bunch of Melter Centurions jump out. That's pretty scary. You'd want to use the melee ones, right? I guess actually even Devastators would be. because it's just a lot of damage. You basically want to drop it down and have something that clears the area, so you probably want to use Evers. No, you probably want to use Assault. Because if you get charged, then at least you can punch back. But at the Necron Detachment says, yes, we do. Also, bear in mind you then have to find space for it. But, I mean, the repulsor comes with a lot of weapons. And because it would have arrived on that turn, it would have rerolls of 1. What goes in a drop pod? That's the real. Because drop pod obviously gets, like, everything. What can you do with a drop? I still want to try the drop pod. Get 6 drop pods and just, like, cut out an area of the board that no one can walk through. Because you could just make a conga line of drop pods that the enemy has to walk through. But yeah, you could deep strike the Storm Raven as well. It cannot transport Centurion, Gravis, Jump Pack, Wolf, or Terminator. It can just do 12 infantry. It can't be Gravis or Jump Pack or Terminator. So it has to be regular old. I feel like Infernus Marine. I mean, even just regular Intercessor. I feel like dropping down 10 Intercessors isn't that bad of a shout. But Pyroblasters are pretty. Guard, yeah. Hellblasters. How do you prep your models? You go to stronghold.com. Get yourself. Unfortunately, I think heavy... deep strike. You could deep strike heavy intercessors as well. Obviously not in a drop pod. I mean, you could deep strike... What's the silliest thing you could deep? It's just anything that's not Titanic. Obviously, Hammerfall Bunker, yes. So fortifications have weird rules. Question is... Yeah, Hammerfall Bunker with Deep Strike. But I think fortifications have a weird rule, right? In how they... When you're instructed to clear battle formation, you can select one or more units from your army to be put in street reserves, excluding fortifications. You cannot put fortifications into strategic reserve. Well, just regular reserve. Because it wouldn't be strategic. Brutalis is a very good deep strike as well. Anything that you can hide with a fast movement that you want a rapid ingress. So all of the dreadnoughts are good. Yeah, Thunderhawks are... I've seen a Thunderhawk. They're huge. They are absolutely Titanic. If they don't have the Titanic keyword, they absolutely should. They do. Thunderhawk. Yeah, Thunderhawk gunship. Yeah, there it is. 840 points. Deep strike servo turrets. Unfortunately, Astraeus are Titanic, so you can't deep strike them. Which is very unfortunate. As much fun as that would be. Astraeus is Titanic. Oh, yeah. Dear me, dear me. He's striker rid of man. I mean, bet he might already have it, right? Robo Gorilla Man. No, he doesn't. So yeah, I guess you could. Does not say next hot take call? I don't know. At some point. Yeah, this one I think has got the most potential. And as we all know, fun means prizes, right? Okay, that's how words. That is indeed how words, right? We love words here. Words hard. Words are hard. That is true. Words are very difficult. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I definitely want to look at getting some of the Necron stuff. Necron Destroyer one is really. Be like appropriate paint jam. I could do a paint jam when I'm in Japan. Basically, like you've got until I get back from Japan. I'm muted. No, every so often I just stop talking because I like to save my voice. Can't fold the doors up. Not that much of a problem. My opinion on the new Chaos boxes, I think they're I don't remember what they are now. Let me yeah. Warhammer. Yeah. They announced them a little while ago, didn't they? Chaos Battle. Yeah, the Emperor's Children one is very good. I feel like that's such a good start to that army. I'm not vibing the Corn one. The Thousand Suns one is very, very good because it just has a mute with force. Everyone loves it. Death Guard one seems good as well. I'm not a fan of Poxwalkers, but three lawnmowers is pretty cool. I think the best one though is the Emperor's. Because that would be the one that I would be most. That would be if I wanted to start new arm. But I do because. I need 10 terms in MVB. There you go. No, there's no deep strike mishaps anymore. Apart from if you just drop them in the wrong place and they die, which is, I guess, a bad mishap. That. That'd be a bad idea. Death Guard combo is great with the combat try. Yeah, that makes sense. Right. That was interesting. I think I'm probably looking into Necron one. However, apologies for the relatively short. I wanted to go through those because people were asking about it, and I figured just to do a nice chill. However, I am going to send Jarl over to Liam Dempsey. Go say hello. I think the game's been on. It might be just starting. Go watch some Warhammer. Have fun. Go chat with them. And I'll be back. Video tomorrow. And then I'll be back next week with more streams. I need to build some more Centurions. So join me then. And now, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I will see you. I need to go over here and press the button. I always press it on the wrong place. Bye.